Hey, okay, everybody. I think we're live. Okay, it's Thursday, and everything new on the market's probably up and on the MLS by now and propagated through the system. So I thought Thursday afternoon, let's go house shopping. Again, I'm always looking for houses, so I thought I would just take you along with me on my little journey. And because I'm doing that, I wanted to, because I'm looking for houses for myself always and my clients. We're not always looking in Austin, so I built myself a website that helps me search for houses across all across the whole state. Now, of course, I could go to any site like Realtor.com, Zillow, etc., um, and look for houses. My site's just going to have stuff that's in Houston, Austin, or San Antonio. So to get started, I'm going to do a little filter down the days. I'm going to filter down new to market, and just kind of see what that shows up. I'm going to start checking out the uh, Austin market. I live out here in Bee Cave, so I know there's this house that just popped up in Lake Point, which is a pretty great area to live. Um, but there's often not very many listings there, so it's always interesting to see. So the first thing I do is I just look around to see if there's anything out of sorts. Uh, there's a couple places that I'm looking for clients. One, I have a client that's going to list their house up here in Northwest Hills, so I'm always watching to see what happens up there. And then that same client wants to move out here to Briarcliff or Spicewood. He's looking for a lake view. I think that may be one we need to send him. You need to take notes of this. Um, yeah, this looks pretty nice. I'm not sure if he's going to go for the rustic log cabin look, but that's okay. Um, we're going to send him this listing anyway and see what he says. Um, this is not, he wasn't looking for waterfront, but I believe this one actually is waterfront. Oh, nice use of an old boat. Plenty of land with an old shed and waterfront. Although I believe getting down to the water on this one's going to be quite entertaining. You zoom in on the map, you probably see that it has a little bit of a cliff. They didn't put a picture of a boat dock, so I guess that's not their boat dock. But, anyway, that's one we can take a look at. I'll go back to the results and see if we can find another one. This obviously is much less expensive, and it's a little shack. Oh, neat. I wonder if this is a, yep, short-term rental friendly, sold fully furnished. Anyone looking for a short-term rental? I know I always am. This would be a good one. I have to call on this one as well. And my wife and I are looking for short-term rentals. They do great around here, and to find a house that's already short-term rental friendly. Oh, look at that indoor outdoor shower. I love that idea. Don't know why my wife doesn't, but Anyway, we got the chat box open. If you want to ask me some questions in the chat, I'll try to get them answered for you. Um, any questions about Austin real estate, Central Texas real estate? Uh, Man, this thing looks good. I buy that for myself just to get away from the kids for a night. All right, I have to go check that one out. Let's see. And this one, I think, doesn't come with a boat slip, but you can have access to certain things if you're in this little village. This is actually where they had the Kid Rock concert not too long ago. So I'll have to check that out and see what's going on there. Another place that we look a lot is down towards Dripping Springs and Wimberley because we have some friends down that way. This is in Howard Ranch on Troubled Waters. May have just called on this one the other day. 2,800 square feet for $1.2 million. Man, I love how prices have gone up. It's great if you're a seller, not if you're a buyer. Although we are seeing a little bit of settling in the market. What do y'all think of the freestanding clawfoot tub? Looks pretty. I'm just wondering if it would be a pain. Cleaning behind it's been my always been my question, whether or not that's going to be easy to do or not. I was also calling this neighborhood the other day looking for listings. So it's good to see more coming on. I like to see property come on the market and change hands because it helps prices go up. And I always look down here on the Blanco. Nothing new in the Blanco. That's a kind of a bummer. Okay, let's see what's going on in the middle of Austin. And they could have moved the roofing material for the photo, don't you think? But brand new house, 1,600 square feet. Whew. Condominium regime looks like. It's good to see houses back in the low fours. For a while, there weren't many of them. I mean, this is a pretty great price point. 1,200 square feet, 425. It's cute. No garage. I wouldn't buy it immediately because of the garage. That's just my personal taste. But uh, if you don't have a car or you don't have a lawnmower, then no garage is great. My question is, in a house like this, where are you putting the lawnmower? Maybe you're going to hire somebody to mow the lawn, and that's fine. Maybe you don't need a lawnmower. The other question you have to ask about houses like this is garage conversions do need a permit. So in Austin, you're going to need to make sure that they got a permit for that garage conversion. Because if they didn't, and you buy it, and this happens all the time where someone comes in and buys it with cash, and they don't worry about the permits, and they don't really worry about the survey usually, and they don't worry about the even the title commitment sometimes. But if they buy it and then there was no permit done on it, well, it could come back to bite you. Also, here's something interesting is now it's fine that the fence ends here, but the property line runs down this fence. So the property line is not this house. And and while that neighbor is there and that they may be fine with that you hanging out up against their house, but they may need to be able to get to their house to do construction on it or something. So really, you don't have all this land. This is kind of um, this is a misnomer, right? Your property is going to end right here, and if they need to get in here, do siding or painting or something, it's being basically in your backyard. So that's something you always want to look out for is making sure that you understand where the property line is. I'll zoom back out and see if there's anything super interesting. $5 million piece of property, 230 acres. That's a lot of land. 2,000 feet of highway frontage on this one. It's a pretty good deal, I think, for the money. This will be the next big development out there. One thing that's interesting, I saw this on the map a minute ago. Harrison Ranch Airport. I'm always curious because I'm a pilot and I haven't seen that pop up anywhere on any of the charts. So I'm curious if I mean it looks very private, but for it to be marked on this map is very interesting. See if I can find it real quick. It's 290, huh? Oh, yeah, there it is. Private airport. It's just interesting that they put it on this map. Of course, there's an airport there too. And it's not an airport as much as just a private runway. It happens sometimes. I would have a private runway if I could afford one. No, I also randomly go and look at San Antonio. I'm all over the place. Can you believe it? I'm just all over the map. I keep looking at things to buy for myself and for my clients. So I have some property down here. I went on Summerfest Drive actually. It's great to see these prices because I think I paid 80,000 for mine, and to see these properties popping up at 269. Yeah, that's great. I love it. These are so new to the market. I don't even have photos yet. So it takes a little while for the photos to propagate through to our website, but that's okay. They'll all be up by the end of the day. Oh, here's a Guadalupe River. Is this waterfront? No, it's a bummer. It's a bummer. It's not a bummer. It's not waterfront. It's a vacation rental as well. Sleeps 14. So this would be a fun tubing house. I bet all these houses are vacation rentals. So it'd be interesting to talk about the income on this one. This one is 114. So I'm sitting here, I found four properties in 10 minutes that I need to make calls on and just see what's going on, see if there's opportunity out there. At 699, sleeps 14, I can tell you that this is probably a property that would bring in about 90,000 a year in short-term rental revenue. Um, Now the only thing that would prevent that would maybe be that if there's some if this whole area is competing against you, then you wouldn't be able to ring in as much. But here's the thing: is if all of these are short-term rentals, then that's a problem. But if just two of the five in there are short-term rentals, then I think you could bring in a bunch of money on these and definitely pay for your property. But do you want to own it at the end of the year? Maybe not. So see, there's another one right next door. This is also a vacation rental, right? So this is just a little bit bigger than the last one. Oh, they're exactly the same. So one's 25,000 more, and they're both on VRBO. So someone's tired of running those, and I get it. That can be hard to do, but if you want Guadalupe waterfront right there you go. You can buy two of them. And again, just always looking at what's new on the market. I don't expect to find many homes listed down here in Port A from the three MLSs that I have access to, but I always just want to look. They're probably down in the Corpus Christi MLS. But I do have a bunch of things in Galveston. Interesting about short-term rentals in Galveston. Uh, Galveston Island was in Texas Monthly this last week, and they were talking about how a lot of the people that live in Galveston are just afraid about all of the short-term rentals. There are roughly 30,000 homes on Galveston Island, and out of the 30,000, 5,000 of them are short-term rentals. So that's quite a big percentage. So people are really worried that short-term rentals are going to take over, and no one's actually going to be able to live there, and that is, I think, a legitimate concern. I know that several areas of Galveston Island are preventing them in their HOA covenants. Pirates Cove, for example, this area here, out by the golf course, that this whole area is not allowed to have any short-term rentals. But Pirates Beach, There's some allowed over here, mostly on the water, I believe. Oh, we already looked at that one. So again, just checking out. Oh, I started a chat with myself. Oh, that's interesting. Not sure what I did there, but let's get back to this. So I've dropped the 1 day on the market, so now we'll have a bunch more properties that filter in as we go. There's a couple places I really like to check out still, but I think for today I have 4 or 5 targets now, so I need to go ahead and start making my calls to those clients. Anyway, been fun live chat, live streaming, and I'll have to do this again sometime. If you have any questions, comment below, however that works.